we want to go to the beginning. The Bible is full of amazing stories, but the beginning stories begin in the book of Genesis. And so I am looking forward to Jerome Prairie spending this fall looking at the beginnings.
So James, we're looking at 3-ish months, basically through the end of the year, spending that in Genesis, in the beginnings. Genesis is fairly familiar to most people. My question would be, why Genesis and why now? Why is that something we should be spending all this time in?
I find it very easy in today's culture for people to just to look to Christ, to look to the cross, and not talk about the whole story that's behind it. And so not knowing the foundation that he's laid in the book of Genesis leaves people shallow when it comes to understanding their faith. And so I'm wanting us to look at what is the purpose that the Creator had in starting it this way. Why did he do it the way he did? And I think by us looking at what his purpose is, I think it reveals our purpose. And I think that that's something that I want us to be experiencing as well. How about yourself? Because I mean, this is something that I've wanted to push. Didn't take too much push to say, Jared says this is a good idea. What strikes you that why should people want to come and listen to us talk about the book of Genesis?
Well,
or the book of the beginnings of the scripture, because it's not just Genesis.
Yeah. Sure, yeah. I mean, I know for me, anytime I have taken a serious look at Genesis, I've never come away bored. I've never come away unrefreshed or not feeling rewarded for the time spent in it. Genesis is, to me, it's just wisdom on a platter free for the taking. And it's not so much just foundational truths to think about, like a list of ideas. It's the truths that we think with. It's the truths that help us to unlock the rest of Scripture. It's the truth that helps us to see why Jesus came and why he's our hope and he holds the whole future. And the other thing about Genesis that I love is that it's a story well told. It's told masterfully. I think it was Rudyard Kipling that said, if history were told in stories, no one would ever forget it. And that's Genesis. And it's told in an amazing way at scales. You know, God's talking about the cosmic history and all of the universe, and he's talking about individual families and personal lives, and the way he ties it all together. It's endlessly fascinating to me, but it's also personally enriching.
And I think that one of the things that's going to be awesome about this is it's not just about the creation, but about the Creator. What is his purpose? And so I really want us to see him and his work and his statements that he's making to us through the stories that he tells us in the book of Genesis. And I really feel like that you're gifted for this. I'm looking forward to us working together. At this point, Jared's kind of taking the telescope, I'm taking the microscope, and we're going to be looking at this thing together and saying, okay, he'll be giving us more of the big picture, I'll be working more on the small picture. So from week to week, we want you to know the Creator, and we want you to trust the work that he designed you for, the purpose that he gave you in this life, and this book and its stories of beginnings is going to really help us with that. So I hope you'll join us, and I hope you'll invite a friend to join you as well, because this is a great series to walk through. What was he intending for us when he began?